What's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman, and we're gonna jump right into this because I'm very excited about this figure. Starting off with the packaging, you are able to see the figure right here. You can see all of his accessories. Down here we get a shot of the figure itself. Over here it says the Dark Knight Returns. I like that it's all black and very simple, but it still looks good. On this side of the box we get a look at the figure and then a bunch of information. It says Dark Knight Returns, Batman Mafex number 106. On the back we get Batman in all kinds of poses. I love this pose right here. That's like an iconic Dark Knight Returns pose. And then down here it shows both of the heads that he comes with, and then there's a bunch of other information. Over here we get another look at the figure, and let me open this up real quick because there's some pretty cool artwork on the back of the packaging here. Let's go ahead and take the tray out, and then we get that iconic looking Batman art. And that's the same pose that they have the figure in the back of the packaging. So that is awesome stuff. But yeah, enough about the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at Batman. Alright, so here we have Dark Knight Returns Batman. And this damn thing looks like he jumped right out of the comic book. I can't believe what a great job Mafex did on this. And one thing that I was initially worried about was the cape, because I had a lot of problems with the cape on my Hush Mafex Batman, but I'm very happy to say that that was not the case with this one. This cape is perfectly fine. It worked out good. It only has 2 wires in it as opposed to the the Hush one that had 4, so it was kind of hard to get that one to flow naturally, but this one kind of drapes in the middle, and then you have the wires on the side so that you could just manipulate it with those and then let the middle of the cape do its thing. And then plus it's a lot smaller than the Mafex Hush cape, so it's not so messy, you know. But yeah, this damn cape is awesome. I know I've seen some people mention and some complain that the cape is wrinkled, but a part of me wants to say that that was kind of on purpose, because the Dark Knight Batman is, you know, like an old, crusty-ass Batman that wants to get back out there and do his thing. So he pulled out his costume, dusted it off, and went out there and whooped some ass. So part of me is like, maybe they wanted it wrinkled on purpose. I don't know. I could be making some bullshit excuses, but I don't know. That's kind of that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know if that's the case, but it is a little wrinkled. Maybe you could iron it or do whatever you want. But to me, I'm perfectly happy with how it is. It looks great. And as far as the figure itself, the sculpting on it is really nice. He's got a bunch of creases and all kinds of good stuff that we'll look at when we get in close. But as I said, he looks like he jumped right out of the comic, and it's probably the most accurate Dark Knight Returns Batman figure that I've seen. I know DC Collectibles had a couple, but they were more like statues. But this one is straight up a super articulated, perfect representation of the Dark Knight Returns Batman. And then taking a close look at the details, starting off with this head sculpt, I do like this facial expression a lot. He does have a very solemn, stoic kind of look to him. He does look very pissed off and tired and just full of regrets, you know. But this is a good looking head sculpt. I do like the sculpting details on the mask. The mouth itself looks really nice. The eyes are very well done. And then we do have the short little ears on the top of the head. Oh, and then his actual ears are sculpted on there, so that's kind of cool. I always like when that happens. But yeah, look at that. That's a very good looking head sculpt. And the alternate head sculpt looks just as good. This head sculpt is inspired by that iconic Dark Knight Returns artwork that we saw on the inside of the box, and this represents that very well. We've got the teeth showing that look pretty good. We have some sculpted details on the mask. The eyes look nice. Once again, we have the short ears and then the sculpted ears on the side of the head. But yeah, look at that. That's really good. Mafex is getting better and better with their head sculpts. I think these Batman head sculpts have to be a couple of their best. But yeah, they did nice work on these. And then moving down into the body, look at, there's like details everywhere. Look at all these little lines. And then the Bat logo is actually like engraved in there. It's not just painted. But it looks really nice. And we've got a bunch of creases. The muscles look good. I like how he doesn't look chiseled or like too perfect, you know. He looks strong, but he also looks like an older kind of body type. Very accurate to the Dark Knight Returns. I do have a small paint imperfection right there, if you could see it. Just a little imperfection, nothing crazy. And then his utility belt looks really nice too. I like the color that we have going on here. And there is some nice paint details on there. And then moving down, the sculpt like style is consistent throughout the whole figure. We have those creases and lines. And it all just looks really, really nice. Like I said, it looks like he jumped right out of the comic. It's so perfect looking. And then on his forearms, he does have his signature Batman forearm blades, I guess you could call them. I don't know. But these are a little soft. They don't feel like they're going to break or anything. But when I was messing with the figure, I did notice like how soft they were. In addition to the two heads, he does come with some other accessories, but he doesn't come with as much as the Hush Batman. And I was kind of surprised to see that. But he does come with a decent amount of stuff, including 5 different sets of hands. So first off, we have a pair of fists. And then we have another set of hands that look like a pair of fists, but they're kind of open. And you could use these to have him grab his cape and maybe hang it over his face to make him look all mysterious and stuff. And then he has a set of open hands. And then he has another set of open hands. I'm not really sure how to describe these. They're just a set of open hands that look different than the previous ones. And then last but not least, he has a set of gripping hands. And these gripping hands could be used to hold on to the batarangs that he comes with. You could just slide them right there in between his fingers. And he does come with 8 of these batarangs. And aside from that, he doesn't come with anything else other than the standard Mafex stand, which I never even take out of the box, to be honest with you. But yeah, like I said, I'm surprised that he doesn't come with as much accessories as the Hush Batman. And now for some quick size comparisons. Here we have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman alongside a couple of my favorite Batman figures. On the left, we have the recently released Mafex Hush Batman, and I like that thing a lot, but I will say that this new Dark Knight Returns Batman is a lot better in my opinion. And then on the right, we have the Mezco 112 Collective Dark Knight Returns Batman, and I plan on doing a comparison video between the Mafex and the Mezco, but man, it's a close one. I'll tell you this right now. It's going to be very hard for the Mafex one to top the Mezco one for me because the Mezco one kind of has sentimental value. But I'm still going to make a video and I'm going to try to be as objective as possible. And then next up we have Batman alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Classic Superman and the Mezco 112 Collective Commissioner Gordon. And I would really like to see Mafex do a Dark Knight Returns Superman. I know they have their Hush Superman on the way pretty soon and I'm really looking forward to that figure. But I think they would make an amazing Dark Knight Returns Superman. So hopefully one day they do that too. And then now here we have the Mafex Batman alongside the NECA DC vs. Dark Horse Batman and the McFarlane Toys White Knight Batman. And then now here we have him alongside the McFarlane Toys Azrael and the DC Essentials Red Hood by DC Collectibles. Now here we have him alongside the Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Robin by DC Collectibles and the DC Icons Nightwing by DC Collectibles. And in the spirit of old washed up superheroes, here we have the Dark Knight Returns Batman alongside the Marvel Legends Old Man Logan and Marvel Legends Old Man Hawkeye. And here we have Batman alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Batman Beyond. And oh man, it just occurred to me, how cool would a Mafex Batman Beyond figure be? That would be dope, man. Mafex needs to go all out on Batman stuff because they're killing it so far. Anyways, on the opposite side of that, we have the Mezco 112 Collective Deluxe Joker. And originally, I was on the fence about the Dark Knight Returns Joker from Mafex because I figured I could just get the Mattel one because, like, I don't really need all that much articulation in it. But, you know, because of how much I like this Dark Knight Returns Batman, I'm probably going to end up getting that Joker. And to finish off the size comparisons, we have Batman alongside the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cat. And as far as the articulation goes, he is a Mafex figure, so he's obviously going to have a lot of good articulation, but I was a little skeptical because of how big he was. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to fit in their standard amount of articulation, but I'm happy to say that this guy's just as posable as almost any other Mafex figure, except for like Spider-Man or something, but he pretty much has all the standard Mafex articulation, which we've come to expect, so I'm very happy to see that. But let's go ahead and get into it. First off, his head can move side to side. It's got some tilt to it, and you can move at the head itself, and there's also movement at the neck, so you could kind of get them like that. And then you could get them to look up to about right there, which is pretty nice. And then you could get them to look down to about right there. So good movement at the head. And then for the torso, look at that, he could bend forward a really nice amount. That is awesome. And then he could go side to side. He does have a diaphragm cut and then like a ball joint at the waist. So using both of those, you get some really nice movement. Damn, it goes to the side a really good amount. Let's see if it could go back a pretty good amount. Looks like going back, that's about as far as it's going to go because his big old back. But still, that's really good range at the torso. And then, of course, you could twist. You could twist at the diaphragm and at the waist. So that's some really good movement there. Good stuff. And then for the arms, we do have that standard Mafex butterfly type of joint, so you could get his arm cocked back a really good amount. It's not a very good punching pose, huh? Then you could bring it forward. You could get his arms in front of him, so you could have him like choking someone out. So that's nice. And he does have ball jointed shoulders, so they do go all the way around. They could come out to the side a really good amount. And then we do have the upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. And even though he's got these big, buff, old man arms, he still gets pretty decent bend at the elbow. So that's nice. And then we do have ball joints at the wrist that do swivel around and hinge, and you could do all kinds of good stuff with these types of wrists. And then for the legs, we do have drop down hips. This hip is a little tight, but it's not really making me nervous or anything. Just a little tighter than I'd like, but as you could see, you can get his leg up a really good amount. And then you could bring his leg out to the side. Pretty much do the splits, so that's good. And then you have an upper thigh swivel in there, but it's in the hip joint there, so you know it's not going to swivel all the way around or anything, but it does get some good movement. And then we have double jointed knee, which gets a really nice bend. No lower leg swivel, but you do have a swivel at the foot. And then you could bring his foot up to right there, bring it up to right there. He does have a toe hinge, and he does have rocking ankles. So just like the wrist, he has a little ball joint at the ankle. So that's a good little joint there. But yeah, the articulation on this guy is awesome, despite him being such a big character. You know, they did a great job with it. Alright, so for my final thoughts on this figure, I'm sure it's pretty obvious, but I am in love with this thing. I think Mafex did an incredible job with it. The sculpting work is extremely well done, and he looks exactly the way he did in those old Frank Miller comics. So I love all the sculpting work and the details they put into this guy. They did an amazing job with that. The articulation is really good too. I was a little unsure of how that would work out because he's a bigger character, and I really don't have that many Mafex figures that are bigger in size. A lot of the characters that I picked up from them are smaller, like Spider-Man, Wolverine, Cyclops even is kind of on the smaller side compared to Batman, but this guy's pretty big, but you're still able to use all the articulation. It's all very functional, and he's a lot of fun to pose around. And then the cape is very well done too. I was a little worried about how that would work out because of my experience with the Mafex Hush Batman cape. That one was nice too, but I had a lot of problems with it. Like the wires were coming out, I had to glue things down. I had to do a lot of work for me to be able to enjoy that figure. But this one here, I pulled it right out of the box and it was perfect. No issues at all. And this thing has been an absolute joy to mess with, and I'm just very happy with it. And I gotta say, I think Mafex pretty much gave us the perfect 6-inch Dark Knight Returns Batman, and I can't wait for the rest of the versions that they're doing, like the battle damage, the light blue, all of that. I think I'm down for every single one of them because this guy was just super impressive. The only thing that he's kind of slacking on is accessories. I'm surprised that they only gave him some hands and different heads. Usually Mafex puts a lot of really cool accessories in there. This time around, they didn't give us too much. And I figure it's because all the accessories that we'd want for a Dark Knight Returns Batman are probably going to make their way out in the different versions, but that kind of sucks because if you just wanted to get this one, you don't get like a Bruce Wayne head. You have to buy one of the other ones in order to get an unmasked Bruce Wayne head. So I think they should have at least thrown that in here, and I think we would have been good to go. But aside from that, this guy's pretty much perfect, and I feel like it's going to go down as one of the best figures of 2020, and it's probably going to end up being one of my favorite Batman figures. It's probably going to be fighting with another Batman for the #1 spot. But yeah, man, this thing is incredible and I'm extremely happy with it. But anyways, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time I go live. And thank you very much. Peace.